Welcome to another viewing and reacting video by me, the J Dude, and today I'm gonna take a look at a video from Fastpass Facts called "Why did Universal cancel these horror attractions?" or "Why these horror rides canceled?" Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, according to the description, there are 3 canceled rides. I'm a big fan of Universal, even more so than Disneyland. Oh my god, talking skeleton man.
What's this?
Do not open Grim. We mean it. Don't click.
Hey guys, would just like to thank Fastpass Facts for having me. Let's dive right into this. Stephen King themed horror attraction. Stephen King is
Stephen
famous
King
for
horror
his
attraction.
hair-raising horror stories, many of which have even made it to the big screen. Now, whether you're a Stephen King fan or just a horror fan in general, this ride would have definitely been chilling. Now, this ride was planned around the same time Universal was considering to buy the rights to the Men in Black. John Murdy, who is now known for being the creative director for Hollywood's Halloween Horror Nights, was given the task of coming up with a Stephen King-themed horror attraction. The ride was going to be based on 2 Stephen King novels, The Shining and It. Both of these stories being fan favorites, it would have been an amazing, immersive experience for all fans. I mean, imagine Pennywise coming at you. I feel literal chills just thinking about it. The most notable part of this ride was going to be the trick ending. Guests would pull into the unloading station. The usual instructions for getting off the ride without any injury would be played over the speakers, but the restraints would not lift. This would effectively prevent the passengers from getting off the ride. That is when the real fun would start.
Oh my
with a
god.
huge pool of blood flooding out the exit doors before passengers could understand what was happening. All of a sudden, Pennywise would spring up in front of them from the control room to attack Ryder. Guests would realize that he had been the ride operator all along. Kind of like what we see in the Mummy ride at Universal Studios Florida right now. The scared
What a
Ryder would
twist.
move further into the nighttime, narrowly escaping, going in the direction of the gift shop. This would have been an authentic and thrilling experience for fans. There was a huge fake wall of blood planned for the ride that would be amazing, but equally difficult to accomplish because it would require a special plumbing system, and the cost that this would need could just not be justified by the people in charge.
Okay.
So the whole ride ended up being scrapped, even though it came very close to becoming a reality.
Very.
Now, instead of a Stephen King ride, they came up with the Men in Black Alien Attack ride. The trick ending, of course, was adopted in Revenge of the Mummy. It's good to know that at least a part of the original Stephen King ride remains in some form. Casper-themed haunted house, Casper the Friendly Ghost has had the love of audiences since the first cartoon came out in 1945. But
I grew up watching the Casper movie, the live action one, then Casper Spirit of the Beginning. Then I also grew up with not the ones that he's talking about. But the Casper cartoons I grew up with from like the 60s, or like reruns from the 1960s, where the animation was ugh.
when the live action movie was
I also grew up watching the 1990s Casper as well, with Cat Sosa and Dan Castaneda.
released in the 90s, a wave of love for the character came back all again. This was perfect.
I remember the Nostalgia Critics review of that movie.
To add more family and kid-friendly attractions. Once the film turned out to be successful, they thought it would make for a great addition to their park and also offer some family-friendly entertainment. Moreover, Steven Spielberg had produced the movie, meaning that the rights could be easily attained. The idea was to have guests ride in a vehicle fashioned like a 4-poster bed. There would be a candelabra at the foot of the bed which guests could use to control it. The bed would take guests on a tour of the haunted house from the movie. which we would have loved. There was also another concept created for the same ride. Guests would be in suspended cars and would fly over the set going on the same tour of the house. There are not many details about this ride, and it is not clear whether the ride was going to be built in Universal Studios Florida or at Islands of Adventure. Sadly, the concept never left the planning room. It didn't even become fully fledged before it was scrapped. Still, guests did get their Casper fix after all, because in 1995, Universal Studios Florida had a Casper-themed walk. You could take a walk through that manor and encounter ghosts in the mirror. Sadly, it is extinct now, but it must have been an amazing experience for all those who got
I gotta see that sometime.
Terminator 2
Rides.
Universal Studios
101.
Florida had just opened its doors in 1990. They only
All
had
be
a few
back.
attractions, and they were planning to add more. During this time, Terminator 2 was released, and it instantly became a massive success. It was also set in LA, so it was a great fit.
I remember watching the attractions of both Hollywood and Orlando. Last time I saw that Terminator 3D show? Yeah, I saw it both in Los Angeles and Orlando. The last time I saw it was in Orlando, so rest in peace that attraction, that 3D attraction.
The park's Hollywood theme. So Universal began developing a ride based on the movie. For this, Universal asked Landmark Entertainment to create some concepts on what they thought a Terminator-inspired attraction or ride would look like. And this was perfect, because Universal was already working with them on Jurassic Park River Adventure at Islands of Adventure. Landmark Entertainment came up with a few different concepts. One of the concepts was a roller coaster. This ride would be set in a post-apocalyptic Los Angeles, and it would have taken riders through a very thrilling, adrenaline-filled ride through the city. The goal was to mirror the high speed and effects of the film. However, this concept was scrapped, most likely due to the lack of space. The E.T. Adventure Show building was right behind the designated location, so space would have been a little tight.
Yep.
This was replaced by another Terminator 2 attraction. So the next concept was brought up. This new concept was an interactive war zone. Again, the attraction would take place in a post-apocalyptic war zone in LA, where guests would be able to join in on the war between humans and machines. This concept was also scrapped in favor of the third concept that was proposed, Terminator 2 3D Battle Across Time. Probably because...
Yeah, that was the one I saw. That was the name I couldn't remember until they said 3D Battle Across Time. Yeah, like I said, both in LA and Orlando. Last time Orlando.
This would have been more impressive and easier to operate. This attraction was built not only at the Universal Studios in Hollywood and Orlando, but also in Japan.
Japan,
Today, both the Universal attractions were closed. The one at Universal Studios Hollywood was replaced by Despicable Me Minion Mayhem, and the one at Universal Studios Florida was replaced by The Bourne Stuntacular, a live-action stage stunt show based on the Bourne movies.
Okay.
The one at Universal Studios Japan, however, is still going strong.
Oh. Yeah, too bad we can't go to Japan for obvious reasons.
Very cool having Justin from Theme Park Shark on this video, but I want to know more. And it looks like there's another video coming up. Let's click on it.
You didn't say the magic word.
Oh, Jurassic Park.
Ready? He's waiting. Well, it looks like it's coming soon. In the meantime, I'm going to check out these other cancelled Universal Studios attractions. So be sure to subscribe to what's coming up during spooky season.
Oh, I will. Anyway, that was my viewing and reacting to why did Universal cancel this attraction, or why these horror rides were canceled by Fastpass Facts and Theme Park Shark. If there's anything else you want me to view and react to, please let me know in the comment section below.